Hello everyone, how's it going? Pretty good, I would hopefully think, but today let's get down to business, shall we? So, the new Tempest trials just came out, and you're probably wondering what this has to offer for you, right? Well, first and foremost, people were concerned about whether or not IS were going to replace sacred coins with, with blah, orbs with sacred coins, but um, however, that's not the case. Instead of replacing orbs, they replaced a little bit of feathers and a little bit of shards, which is, I was kind of worried about that too, but there's no need to be concerned about that at all. I took the liberty of adding up all the orbs that you get for this Tempest trial, and the grand amount came to 42 orbs. If you're willing to go the whole 100k points, I would recommend doing that if you're a big fan of grinding. Plus, they give out free stamina potions every day during the Tempest trial, so why not? And you have 2 weeks to do it. So again, why not? Anyways, on to the rewards. So first off, the biggest reward that we have, let me skip to it a little bit. Words and stuff is Arden. Now with Arden, at 6,000 points, you can get this 4-star Arden at 6,000 points, so it's not that hard, but I would recommend getting the 5-star Arden at 30,000 points, because then you don't have to use 20,000 feathers to upgrade him. Now stat-wise, Arden is a freaking truck. At level 40, 5-star anyways, his defense stat comes at a whopping 41 and his HP at 40 is 60, which is insane. However, his speed is abysmal, which is basically the case with most armored units. And it doesn't help that his weapon is a brave sword, which minuses his speed, 5. However, this is kind of offset with his B skill, which is follow-up ring. Let me just pull up his skill list right here. He has a brave sword plus. There we go, right there. Brave sword. Yeah. His B skill, as you can see, is the follow-up ring, which unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack when unit's HP is more than or equal to 50% at start of combat, and it can't be inherited, which, if it were inheritable, it would be absolutely broken. The only other armored unit that has decent speed, that is Black Knight. So yeah, it's kind of common for armored units to have abysmal speed. And his resistance isn't that great either, so keep in mind to keep him away from any kind of mage. I mean, he might be able to tank a few hits from a green mage because of his large HP pool, but I still wouldn't recommend putting him in the range of any mage at all due to his low speed and resistance, which makes him get doubled or possibly even quadded by mages like Reinhardt and Olwen. In turn, however, with his B skill, which is his follow-up ring, he himself could potentially have the ability to quad a lot of units with his Brave Sword Plus, which I believe is unprecedented for an armored unit. You just have to make sure that you keep him up above the 50% HP threshold so that the follow-up ring's ability procs. For specials, I would recommend giving him Ignis to really take advantage of his massive defense stat, but if you don't have any Ignis fodder, or you would like to go with something that procs a little quicker, go with Bonfire instead, as it will still take advantage of his defense stat just with 30% less damage, which I wouldn't mind putting Bonfire on him, but I think Ignis is the best choice to to fully capitalize on his defensive stat. For his ace skill, you could run Fury because of his high HP pool and overall tankiness, allowing him to keep his current HP safe at almost all times, and plus 3 attack, plus 3 to all stats would just help Arden even more. For his C skill, I wouldn't recommend Drive Defense because other units could just make better use of it. Instead, I would just recommend running a Hone or Fortify. For a positional skill, go with Reposition or Pivot, because Pivot just helps with armor units' overall lack of mobility, and Reposition can possibly get the units away from other melee units, allowing them to kind of hide behind Arden and let Arden do the tanking for them. Alright, now that Arden is taken care of, finally, for Sacred Seals, I would recommend Panic Ploy because of his massive HP pool, allowing him to use Panic Ploy to its fullest extent, and I don't think 60 HP will be matched anytime soon by any unit. The other main thing for this Tempest trial, of course, is Sacred Seals. The first new Sacred Seal that you get is at 12,000 points, and that's Brash Assault. Well, it is still a niche skill that only works well with a select few units like regular Lyn. With it being a Sacred Seal now, the potential for it may have branched out a little bit because you're not taking up a skill slot, so feel free to experiment with it a little bit. Secondly, the next new Sacred Seal is Attack Smoke. Now with Attack Smoke fully upgraded, your opponents will lose 6 attack if the unit you have with the seal gets attacked or attacks someone, which is always nice. A use that I came up with for this Sacred Seal is possibly if you had a Zephiel, now that there's a more optimal Panic Ploy user. Not saying that you can't still run Panic Ploy on Zephiel. You could put Attack Smoke 3 on Zephiel, and then you could replace Threaten Attack 2 on him if you have that with another debuffing skill like Threaten Resistance or Threaten Speed, which when combined with his built-in Threaten Defense 2 on his X-Ax, he would have the ability to debuff 3 stats at one time, which is insane. Finally, the last new Sacred Seal for this Tempest trial, which is at 40,000 points, is... let me get to it. There's a 5-star Arden, by the way, at 30,000. I would highly recommend getting him. 40,000 right there. Guidance. If unit has 100% HP, infantry and armored allies within 2 spaces can move to a space adjacent to unit. Now this is really interesting as a Sacred Seal. I don't have the exact percentages for 2 and 3, but I would imagine that it's 75% and 50% HP. Now, what you could potentially do with this Sacred Seal is use it with another movement skill like Wings of Mercy to solve a lot of the issues that an Arden or Emblem team might have with movement. Now, what you want to do for this is put Wings of Mercy on one armored unit and have the Guidance Sacred Seal on another, so that you can use both Wings of Mercy and Guidance in a combination of sorts. And that would just really mitigate a lot of the movement issues that Armored Emblem teams tend to have. There are potentially more uses for this seal, but that's a very good use for it that I can think of. In conclusion, if you can't make it to 100k points by the end of the 2 weeks, I would recommend getting at least 40,000 points so that you can get all the main rewards of this Tempest trial. Hope you guys enjoy playing this new Tempest trial, and happy grinding, because I know I'll have fun with it. Yay! Ciao, my friends.